for you guys. As you can probably tell already, I messed up. I don't know how or where I got the idea for overgrown from, but it's not on the official Winktober prompts, and it was not day 10, and it's nowhere on the list. What I think's happened, and this does happen quite a lot because people do this as like a separate challenge, but still within October, is make up their own prompts for the certain days. And I was scrolling through, I think Insta, I saw Overgrown as day 10, instantly just thought, oh, you know what, that's the official one without even checking it, and obviously it wasn't. However, we're going to keep the drawing because it is still probably a wicked one, and we're going to save show art for another thing because it's a non-official thing. The ones I was meant to do were Sweep, and the one for today is Sting. Now it's much earlier in the day because I thought I'd just try and fix this as soon as I can. And again, we get the opportunity for a merger. Now, Sweep and Sting to me immediately kind of resonate as two names for separate characters. But the challenge we're applying to this is Inception art with completely opposite characters, but also drawing old stuff from my sketchbooks. So we'll basically be drawing Inception drawings of old characters from my other sketchbooks, but within like a final form of an opposite character. It'll make more sense as we go along with it, but yeah. Cool. But of course, to actually do this, we need to get some of my old sketchbooks out. So just bear with me a second. I think we're going to do at least 5 characters for each side, because otherwise they're going to get too small. Yeah, I think that's enough. What I'm going to do is pick a random 5 characters from each of our separate sketchbooks. Firstly, we've got the oldest one. First one is cacti giraffe. Second one is that we're doing let's do sting first because cacti work with sting rather well. So cacti giraffe, and I guess the way that we could do this is that maybe the law behind these characters is that either their forms shrink based on power levels, like down to these other bits, which are still like sharp and sting, but maybe it's like a Pokemon thing where it's their final form, but their forms are still within them, and they can like release them to fight for them as like mini henchmen. So a giraffe that's made of cactus. Second character for sting is going to be a robotic skeleton. So a cacti giraffe, a robotic skeleton. Then a fly bear, which is basically the mix between a fly and a bear. Horrific machinations that we're going to do. I'm actually write this down real quick. So cactus giraffe, robo skelly, and then I might have to split this stream in two as well because I'm going to be somewhere at 4 o'clock, so it depends. Right. And then a person made of shadows with rainbows for eyes. And finally, this thing. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm pretty sure I did like a dice roll challenge at some point, and like this is what the outcome was. Remember when those were a thing, like randomized them? It's like doing D&D numbers, but each thing would be a different body part, and this is what I came out with. Right. Let's see what we're going to do for sweep. What inception of characters are we going to do for this one? Right, as always, something for the oldest sketchbook. Literally all I'm going to do is just flick through pages and then stop randomly. Find the closest character. seems to be a monkey that's actually a vase. Or possibly, I don't know why at some point, but I started doing these like little really cool cartoony characters. I might do these, but have one be like the biggest version of it. And if we're doing sweep, then yeah, it should be fairly easy. I basically did these based on people I saw on the train, and they're just like teeny little characters that have different aspects about them. But I think they're really, really cute. And they could be used in like a comic sense or an animation. So yeah, we'll use them little people. There's actually plenty of pages left in here that I haven't used. Right, so little cartoony people. We need to find the second one for the Inception. So what's going to get? It's also a bit like a Matryoshka, which is like the Russian dolls that you put inside each other. That's essentially what we're doing, but it's almost like a cross-section X-ray vision of it. Next one is a frog holding a fishbowl. Okay. What's next? What's going to be inside the fishbowl, basically? What?
You've got all hair hanging.
Okay.
What time are you going to the gym?
4.
That sweatshirt's dirty.
Is it? No, it's just...
No, it's dirty on the hood.
Where? Okay.
All on the hood.
Well, I can't see. Next is a celestial being. And the last two, what are they going to be? Actually, I have a better idea. What if we did Transformers, but they're made of these objects and these things? So I could save Inception for a different thing because it's got a whole bunch to do with something like this. It's better doing on digital. So what I'm going to do is essentially make Transformers out of these things. They're going to be called Sweep and Sting. And they're going to be somewhat opposites from each other, but also twins. And yeah, they're going to be made out of some weird stuff. I guess we'll just get straight into it. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is make a posture first and then go ahead and apply some different things to it. Yeah, so I missed October 10 because I did it wrong when we're doing October 11, Inktober 11. But we're going to do them as two separate characters, basically Transformers made out of a bunch of random parts, which are basically old drawings that I've done in the past. And it's going to be horrific and creepy because why the hell not? I don't know what a giraffe looks like though. I mean, I do. You know, I'm going to try this out of my mind, to be honest. I can somewhat picture what a giraffe looks like. But I think I'm going to start on the other ones first. So what we have as Sting is the combination of a cactus giraffe, a robo-skeleton, a fly in a bear hybrid, a shadow person with rainbow eyes, and a weird dice thing. We're going to start with the shadow person, sort of build out there, and there's going to be like traits of everything, but it's going to be essentially like a combiner transformer of all these separate parts, but it's going to look really, really weird.
What time have you got, Ollie?
I told you 4.
Pardon?
4.
Definitely.
Yes. So we're getting onto the neck, chest. I think I might do this one like without a neck, just like completely chest. So we could access the weird dice thing here. Thinking like the face is all sewn up, so we could have this sort of like opened casket, and then just gotta think about how the other sort of bits are gonna play into it. So if we do like some fur coming out of here like this, and then play with the sort of shadow bit inside, because from what I can see with this dice thing is that its chest is like completely open, but there's like eyes peeking out of it. These ones are going to be a bit more toony than the previous ones, but I think that's the fun thing about it. Just having sort of bony parts here, I guess. Soup and stings are going to be their names rather than like the actual physical prompt, I guess, in a way. But we could like we're going to add sting aspects because like cacti is sharp and stings you. Adding the sort of techie skeleton aspects here. The rib cage, some of them is like piping. Kind of reminds me of Sans from Undertale a bit. And we'll keep like the shadowy bits on the inside, and maybe have like this little creature, like a third eye, peeking out down here. Or what we can start to do is actually have the sort of fly, sort of mouth just peeking out there like that. This feels like an urban legend a bit, in a way. And put the rest of the shadows in. I was going to say it wicked. Okay, so we've got like the bony bits in there, and you've got the rainbow eyes, which are going to turn to rainbows when it comes to colouring. And then the bear fur is starting to build out just here, and what we're actually going to do is make it so that there's sort of like fly legs coming out the back and sort of going down, so a really short body but really long legs that start really high. Put that in the chat. Okay. Except these fly legs are going to end in giraffe hooves, and they're going to be spiky. See a bit like cactus giraffe there. Now we're just doing the fly legs, which also have hairs all over them. Also doing it in the shape of the weird dice thing. So the weird dice thing is like the form of this creature, and then the actual aspects of it are like the other things. There we go. I think it's going pretty well so far. Really looks horrific. Right, so we've got elements of the cactus giraffe. Cool. We've got elements of the shadow person. Weird dice thing is the form. So we need to do fly bear hybrid, that's in there, and then robo skelly. So for the lower half of this thing, if it's going to be a sting, I'm imagining the first thing that comes to mind when I imagine a sting is like a bee sting or a wasp stinger. So what we're going to do is actually make the rest of this thing like in the form of an insect and chuck almost like a bee stinger in there, but it'll be like cactusy on the way down. And then I think we'll capitalise on that sort of fly bear hybrid while involving a bit of the skeletal aspects too. So we'll make a bit more of this like bear fur kind of esque agenda going down here, almost like one of those really fluffy coats. And then what we'll do is, by this point, maybe add like a really long giraffe neck. Which should be slightly more squarish since their necks don't bend like snakes. And idea is I want this perspective to be like really far away. So like way in the back here. This is going to be really far away back here. We're going to have like the rest of the creature. I'm just going to almost extending the fur down so it like passes out of view and then comes back in that way. And make it so the fur kind of joins up this side that way, so it's not so hard to. There we go. And then what we can do is just add a bunch more like spikes going down this, really capitalizing on the sort of giraffe cactus element of this. Adding some thin lines like cactuses have. Try not to overdo the spikes too much. There we go. Add the elements of the cactus giraffe in. This long ass neck. And then all we're going to do is add like black spotches to really emphasize the giraffe aspect of it. Because it just looks like a really long spiky snake right now. There we go. Some more giraffe-ish aspects to it with the patterns. And some legs as well. There we go. Cool. So cactus giraffe is looking good. Little bear sort of antics up here. Got a little fly thing there. And then when it comes down to the actual body, I think what we're going to do is have this be skeletal but mixed with robotic. So we'll have like a pelvis be back here. But we'll have like robotic aspects to it as well. And all we're going to do is turn a little stinger on the end. And there we go. Well, we need to the inside bit, well, shadows and bones and things and everything. Really long rib cage, basically. There's some eyes inside here as well. Play more into the weird sort of thing that I made with the dice. Should mention I'm playing D&D tomorrow. Should be fun. Made a D&D character and yeah. Not tomorrow, Monday. I keep thinking today's Sunday. It's not, is it? Saturday. And now we just have our shadows. Okay, I think that works. Yeah, hella creepy. Kind of looks like Kind of reminds me of the things from Sid's bedroom in Toy Story 1. But yeah, we'll make the eyes rainbows when it comes to colouring. Actually, tell we can do that right now. Because what I'm probably going to do is end up splitting the stream and doing day 10 this evening, because we messed it up yesterday. We'll do it as the same character. And these two are going to be tangibly tied to each other in some sort of way. So we'll colour the eyes now. I have to leave it there because, like I said, I've got to be somewhere at 4. And it is... yeah. I've also got to do some edits and some other bits too. So yeah, I'll see you all soon. Have a wonderful evening, morning, day, night, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Yeah? Give me a sec. Tell you what. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Yep.
Shouldn't even be up here. What is that? Don't lie.
Strawberries and milk sausage.
Right, chocolate. Where have you got the chocolate from?
I got it.
William. How many times? William. William.
Right, as I was saying. Oh, hello. It's all right. You've joined me literally as I'm about to end the stream. This always happens. It's really annoying. Hello. I'm doing well though. Basically, what we're going to do is split this up into 2 things. So I messed up yesterday because I thought that Overgrown was the official prompt for 10, except it wasn't. It was something I'd seen on some of the socials, assumed it was the official prompt, found out it wasn't too late into the evening. And so basically now what we're doing is Sweep and Sting as 2 separate characters, basically from a combination of a bunch of drawings I did in my childhood. So Sting is a combination of a cactus giraffe, a robot skeleton, a fly and bear hybrid, a shadow person with the rainbow eyes, and a weird dice thing. So you can see elements of that throughout this. And then what we're going to be doing is with Sweep, when I come back from where I'm going in about an hour's time, because I've also got to do some other stuff in the meantime, such as like uni work write-up stuff. We're going to do Sweep, the actual 10 that we were meant to do yesterday. But we've done 11, so we'll do 10 in the evening of 11. We've done 11 already, so we don't need to worry about this one. And these are technically a merger, because these are 2 separate... These are 2 characters that are going to be tangible to each other. In some sort of way. And there are Sweep and Sting sound like character names in my head, so yeah, I thought that might work quite well. But yeah, we're just going to do the eyes real quick, and then I'll see you guys in a bit. Got my rainbow colours. But as I was saying before, if you have a wonderful evening, morning, day, night, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, everyone's welcome here as always. My socials are linked over here, which is where all the previous Inktober stuff has been going up and will go up, and also my YouTube is here as well, and it's basically where I'm going to be uploading all the VODs for all of these streams. Also my ArtStation, links over here, it's got some uni work on there and some other bits too, so that'll be wicked. It's mainly we're going to be uploading my 3D stuff from uni. But yeah. But apart from that, have a good one. And would I say hero or villain? I kind of wanted to go opposite, like yin and yang. Like good and evil. Sting sounds like a bad word. Sweep sounds like, I don't know, like peaceful. Like elemental thinking. Sting sounds like solid and stubborn and sharp in a way. And then sweep sounds like kind of very loose and easy to change and very kind of one with everything, like air and water. Whereas Sting is more like fire and earth, I guess, in a way. But they could be, maybe I could do it in a way that, because I've kind of like discussed this idea before, not everything that looks monstrous is actually monstrous. So this thing could look horrific, but actually be a good thing. And then this thing could look really cute, but actually be a evil thing. So like reversed roles. Something that looks monstrous is actually good. Something that looks good is actually monstrous. Because you can use its innocence card to like manipulate people into thinking it's good. Whereas this thing obviously just scares people off and can never quite get close enough. Except for the ones that don't see it as that of a creature because of its eyes. I guess. There's a bit of lore there. There we go, and I think that was done. Yep. Bit of like a yin-yang thing, except the looks, it's basically don't judge a book by its cover, I guess, is the metaphor behind this one, in a way. Not everything that looks monstrous is monstrous, and not everything that looks cute is actually nice and cute. And it is kind of representative in the animal kingdom. Like, there's some things that on Earth that look incredibly cute and stuff, but they are so incredibly poisonous and dangerous and probably could be quite lethal as well. But there's also some more monstrous looking things. Like sharks get a lot of beef for like being these big like horrific creatures. I think it is mainly due to horror films as well. There's so many creatures in horror films that are depicted as like monstrous things. Sharks just want nose pats. And yeah, there's some other things like it too, but yeah. I'll see you later. Have a good one, and goodbye. Yeah, except great whites, I guess. There's the thing like orcas as well. I'm really dragging this out. Orcas or killer whale. Killer whales in their name, I know, but there's a lot of like cute media like surrounding them and stuff. But their actual behavior and their nature is terrifying. like they will literally throw seals and penguins out the water to play with them, to kill them before eating them. They've been shown to kind of be aggressive towards boats now, even tipping some over. Yeah. So yeah, have a good one and goodbye.